Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
Apache Junction, Canton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Billerica, Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stamps, leave your clothes, buddy, and then we're screwing up the
funny ass guy, man.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. I'm really a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody.
You're not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, log out.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Boys, go baby, we bringing our toys. Boys, chopper be singing, should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this, so it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom.
You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. Oh, we got to fix that. Hold on. Other way. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. Time out. All right. Time out. Time out. All right. We're going to get this. Hold on. Rough start. Hold on. All right. There we go. Oopsie. All right. We're getting somewhere. We're getting it. Hold on. I think we're better. That's kind of good. All right. I do need a tech team. Hold on. Don't show your drugs. I know. Hey, that's not bad. Oh, a little more. A little more. How about that? That's all right. We'll go with that. Nipples. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host. They call me, my name's Aidan. You can call me Clarence, Turtleboy, Uncle Turtleboy, old school turtle riders call me. I prefer doctor because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then so am I. Daddy is also acceptable. That's what the state police call me. So you can call me whatever you want. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. As long as I'm not incarcerated. I've been out for about 2 weeks now. Not too shabby. Hopefully we don't go back in anytime too soon, although they are trying. We'll get to that a little later on in the program. But yeah. So anyway, guys, if you're new here, make sure you smash that subscribe button. You can also join Turtle Club for $15 a month, get access to the Thursday stream that no one else gets. It broadcasts directly off the website, and you get ad-free. I know how annoying those ads can be. And so is this. This part's going to annoy me too. I am going to get rid of that. Hold on. All right. You know what? That's okay. We'll just go with that. Okay, cool. Anyway, guys, if you like the program and you'd like to donate to it, you can click at the link. You can't do the super chat function. YouTube took that away from us a couple years ago because I had the wrong opinions about the vaccine mandate. Didn't think it should be required, and expressed those opinions on this platform. And they said that your money's no good here now, which is fine because those crooks take like 40%. YouTube does. So we built our own platform. It's called Turtle Chat. If you click at the link at the top, you can donate whatever amount of money you want. You get to write a message. I'll get an email notification when it happens, and I'll read it out loud to the class. Or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy and do the same. And then I'll get a notification on my phone, and I'll read it out loud to the class. So got a couple Turtle Chats so far. We got Stephanie sends $10, says, thank you for making staying home on a Saturday night fun. I don't feel like a loser staying in. Free Karen Reed. You're not. Yeah, it is a good time here. Something to do. So thank you very much, Stephanie. Melissa sends $25, and she says, I'm a new turtle rider watching from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I've been busy binging Turtleboy videos and reading court docs. Can't wait till Tuesday. Yeah. I don't even know where you start if you start binging Turtleboy. You got to go way back and just read the Gianetti stuff, read the Busgate stuff. There's a lot to go back on, but everybody comes to Turtleboy at a different time. That's the thing. I understand it. Probably like at least half of my audience now is just straight. Let me see in the chat right now. Give me a 1 in the chat if you guys were turtle riders, like pretty solid turtle riders, like prior to Karen Reed's story. Give me a 2 if you kind of got into it after Karen Reed. And I know it's going to be mostly 2s. I know some people, we had like 300 people for live shows during the regular. Look at it. Everybody's putting a 1. You guys are liars. I know some of you people, we had like 300 people on live shows back in the day. At least some people are honest. But man, that's a lively chat. Okay, cool. But yeah, but the Karen Reed story isn't going to be around forever. And sometimes people ask that, like, what are you going to do after this is all over? Well, first of all, it's going to be around for a while because it's, I have no idea how this story ends. I have no clue how it ends. I know that the bad guys don't get to win. And I know that at the end of the day, there are going to be federal indictments. And then we'll have like kind of part 2 of the story, right? Is taking down them. And then there's my whole saga on the side, which I did not intend. I didn't mean to like steal the limelight from this. A lot of people say that, like, oh, Turtleboy, you made this story all about you. I didn't indict myself. All I did, I just got fired up about the story. Well, and Lauren Conlin asked me this on her podcast the other day. She said, would you do anything differently? And I'm like, I've thought about that a lot. Like, what could I do differently? And honestly, like, tell me. I mean, I'm curious. Like, what? I don't think I could have. What could I have done? I didn't know anything I was doing was illegal because it's not. The things I've been doing with the Karen Reed story, I've been doing with Monica Cannon Grant and all these other scumbags for years. Like, I don't know, like the rolling rally. I had no fucking clue. That was like 4 felonies that I got. I picked up like a bunch of felonies that day. No one else did. Everyone else that came is good. So you're all set. But just me, I picked up a whole bunch of felonies. So I'm like, how could I possibly go back and do something? If they said that was illegal, then no matter what I did, they were going to say it was illegal, period. They just took this fucking statute and they're just like, yeah, we'll just use this. Like I was protesting in front of D&E Pizza in June, August. Those were fun. That was a good time. The D&E Pizza protests. Great time. But then all of a sudden, it became illegal. Like all of a sudden in October, they're like, oh, actually it's illegal and you're going to jail. And 9 other people that show up, you're going to jail too. You're all felons. So what the fuck are we, like, how are we supposed to plan for that? That was a really good question Lauren asked me, but like, how are we supposed to plan for this? Like, what am I supposed to know? You know, it took them, that's the thing. It took them a while to find the loophole, not even find it, interpret it the way that they wanted to. They're like, oh, wait a minute. We'll just coach these idiots to say that they're having emotional harm, whatever that means, that Turtleboy has emotionally harmed them. And then say that, oh yeah, I'm scared to testify because Turtleboy is on his show. I mean, go back and read those charging documents. It's just insane. Just go back and read the charging documents against me. It's wild. Some of the shit that they're playing. When they played the stuff on Court TV, I'm like, okay, when do we get to the bad part? So yeah, go listen to Lauren did a really good interview. I listened to it on the way up. So it's like, I don't know. It's a really good question, but I just don't know how I could do it any differently. I'm like, I go on my show, I crack jokes, they take them out of context, and I got charged with a felony. I held a peaceful protest. We went to each house for like 7 minutes. We can review the freaking rolling rally and be like, where's the crime part? I don't know. And then they put this jackwagon, Ken Mello, in charge of prosecuting me. And we're going to talk about that tonight. That's one of the things we're going to talk about. So, yeah, we got a couple cash apps here. Let me see my cash apps. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. Candy sends $20 and says, here's staying free after Thursday's hearing. Thank you, Candy. Yes, I could definitely use your prayers for that. Appreciate that. Orcaleb sends $5.55 and says, investigations and for paranormal investigations and show nips. Show nips. I don't think this shirt shows the nips. So maybe another time. Mary sends $20 and says, adopt a shelter pet and free Karen Reed. Two good ideas. Thank you. Julie sends $25 and says, stay strong. You're a great dad and a great human. Well, thank you, Julie. I really appreciate that. Very kind. And Mr. sends $10 and says, Mr. Meathook at your service, Squire. Okay, cool. If anyone else would like to donate and have your message read out loud to the class, you guys can click on the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and I will read your message out loud to the class when you do that. Okay, cool. All right. So without further ado, so here's the deal. What we're going to talk. So I have this week, guys, court on Thursday, if you guys didn't see this. And I think I posted somewhere the report of like what I'm being charged with. I'm going to briefly go over this because I could go back to jail on Thursday. They want to put me back in jail on Thursday. Now I hope it doesn't happen, obviously. I obviously hope that does not happen. But they want it, like they're trying hard. So let me see if I have this. Do I have a picture? Okay, cool. Here it is. All right. All right. So this is a police report filed with the Dedham Police Department after. So as you guys know, I went to the hearing, the Karen Reed hearing on the 26th, like my third day out of jail. And the McAlberts brought with them Lindsey Gateani, who obviously lied about being assaulted and got an order on me. And they deputized her a witness because that's just what they do now. They just make everybody a witness. And then you get charged with witness intimidation for that. And so she's never been to a Karen Reed hearing in her life. She suddenly got an interest in it the day I got out of jail, didn't go to the 2 hearings on January 18th or on January 5th, whenever that was, but decided to go on February 26th. As soon as she walked into the courtroom, I got up and left. I'm not, because I don't fuck around with orders, right? There's an order on me. I'm out. I don't want to be anywhere near this person. So I left. And a cop directed me where to go. And I went there. And I didn't even see this individual come out. I had no clue. There's hundreds of people coming out. The whole thing was over like 10 minutes later. And I didn't even see this individual come out. I saw later on when videos were being shared and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, there she is. But I didn't even see this individual come out. And I certainly didn't say anything. And then this report was written at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Okay. So it says on February 26th at the front, blah, blah, blah. Lindsey Gateani walked into the station to report a violation of a restraining order. She informed me that she was invited to Dedham Superior Court by a friend on Monday, February 26, 2024. Well, she entered so invited by a friend. Again, a lot of people have said, well, you were there first, right? Doesn't matter. It's just, that's how the law works. Okay. So you gotta get up and leave. It's unfortunate, but you got to get up and leave. It's not fair, but I'm not going to jail over this shit, period. So I decide that I'm going to get up and leave and I walk out. Okay. And it says here, it says here that she was invited by a friend. Okay. And while she entered the courthouse, she noticed Aidan Kearney. Okay. Like she wasn't watching on the streams and knew I was there. She stated that she currently has a restraining order against him, which states he can't be within 100 yards of her. It should be noted that there was a two-party hearing at Dedham District Court where Kearney was served. She stated Kearney was informed to leave the courthouse by court officers. That's your first lie. That's your first lie, right? Is that I was informed to leave by officers. We have video of me getting up and just walking out of the courtroom. No officer told me to leave, because that makes it sound worse. Like, oh, you had to be dragged out of there by an officer. No, I just got up and left. On my way out, Chris Albert said to me, oh, that's a bitch, huh? He's smiling because this is a joke to them. Domestic violence is a joke to them. Orders are a joke to them. Manipulating the criminal justice system is a joke to them. So this is a joke to, obviously, these people. I left voluntarily. So it goes on to say, when Gateani exited Dedham Superior Court, she could hear Kearney yelling from across the street at the Registry of Deeds. I asked Gateani, okay, so that she could hear me yelling at the Registry of Deeds. I asked Gateani if Kearney was directing anything towards her, which she informed me, yes, he was yelling and calling me a liar. So specifically, she's claiming that I called her a liar, which she could hear from wherever I was. Gateani informed me that there was a few hundred people outside during this incident, and she heard me. The proximity, from my experience, falls within 100 yards that is stipulated in the restraining order. Okay. Notice it doesn't say anything in here about like video evidence, nothing. Like, is there video? But we have a lot of video of this. Okay. So this is what's called a false police report. All right. And this is, they are trying to, and that police report, by the way, was filed at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And this individual called the Dedham police at 2:30 p.m. And we have the police report from that with Officer Kozak, and told them that her car was vandalized. Her minivan was vandalized. And the insinuation there, I'm not accused of doing that, but the insinuation there is obvious. Now, she was in 2 accidents in December, which obviously weren't mentioned, but so there's a scratch on it, and they're saying that must have been one of us, right? Like, that's what they're getting at there. But why, if she called police at 2:30 to report this vandalism, why wouldn't she tell the officer that the guy who I have a restraining order on, who I came to court holding, she came to court holding that paper. She was she knew I was going to be there. And she's suggesting that I yelled at her and then just doesn't mention it to the cop at 2:30. Just makes no mention of it. Just talks about the vandalizing. And then she just suddenly remembered at 7 o'clock, oh yeah, and drove down 5 hours later to the Dedham Police Department and said that, oh yeah, he was within 100 yards of me and he yelled liar or whatever. Okay. Now we have a shitload of video of this. Okay. And we've assembled lots of affidavits that are showing this. That let me see if I got it here. Hold on. I had it. Hold on. I think I got a copy of this video right here. Document downloads. So there's a whole lot of it. This is one of many, many angles that we've been sent. All right, so check this out, just in case there's any doubt. So somebody apparently did this. So whoever's filming this was in front of the Registry of Deeds. Now, like, look how far away they are, okay? How the fuck can I know who's who? I'm way behind these people. Way behind them. And I can't tell who the fuck is who. I don't know who's who in this. Everybody looks like they're dressed for a goddamn funeral. And then tell me if you guys can hear me yelling anything here. Punch a icy mother. Oh, you guys can't hear that? Oh, there's no volume? Hold on. There's no volume for that? We got to hear the volume. Oh, sorry. All right, hold on. How is there no volume? I got to turn up the volume. The volume was all the way up. How the fuck do I share the volume? Hold on. Oh, you guys couldn't hear that at all? What the fuck? Okay, hold on. You got to hear this then. What did Chris yell? Chris didn't yell anything to my knowledge. Actually, I'll play it this way. Hold on. And this is the last one I'll play, and then we'll get to the Mello stuff. This leads into the Mello stuff. That's why I'm sharing this. Or not. Okay. Whatever. As you guys will see in that tape, you could faintly hear it. You could hear a whisper. Aidan was silent. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I mean, that's the bottom line. Spoiler alert. You don't hear a goddamn word I'm saying. You hear other people yelling, loser, loser. So it's made up. Okay. It's a false police report. I didn't do anything. And they are charging me with violation of a harassment prevention of a restraining order based on that. So we are attempting to deal with that on Thursday, but there is a chance that they're going to try to revoke my bail based on that. It would obviously be an injustice if that happened, but that is why I have not really felt free since I got out, to be perfectly honest with you, because this cloud is hanging over my head. It's a complete lie, I did not yell a goddamn thing, not a thing. And that was obviously used to embellish it and try to get this charge. So, you know, if you're the religious type, say a prayer for me. I don't want to go back for 60 days. I haven't done anything. I haven't committed any crime. It would be a complete injustice if this happened, all based on a lie. So if you guys want to come and support me on Thursday, I'd welcome it. But obviously, they're just trying to put me away for nothing. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it would just be like, if that happened, if they put like, that would be fucked up. So it's just hard, guys, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just hard mentally right now to focus or do anything knowing that they're just trying to do that again. And it's just like, come on, give me a break. And you know, these people lie. I mean, they lied about the A and B to put me in here in the first place. These people, They frame people for murder. You don't think they can make up a little white lie about somebody called me something? But anyway, so I am not going to the court hearing for Karen on Tuesday. Hopefully a lot of you will be. There will be protests, peaceful protests starting at 7:00 out there on Tuesday. And it's going to be very interesting. They're going to argue the motion to dismiss, which we haven't seen. If you watch Turtle Club, we kind of went over the opposition to the motion to dismiss and kind of try to figure out what was in the motion to dismiss based on the opposition to the motion to dismiss. But, we haven't actually seen what's in there. So who knows? They might announce what's been happening with the federal stuff. It's going to be a really, really big day on Tuesday to see what happens there. Monday, I got court in Leominster with Krusty Panties. The Holden Police Department, not me, the Holden Police Department has filed a criminal complaint for witness intimidation against her. So they are dealing with that. On top of that, they also filed a criminal complaint for trespassing, and I applied for a harassment prevention order because she keeps threatening to come to my house and my parents' house. And it's just getting a little much. And I don't want anything to do with this individual at all. And I just want to move on with my life, and that's it. So anyway, so let's talk about Mello, though. So when I was gone, I didn't get a chance to do any shows, obviously. And one of the things that I really want to talk about was the goddamn hearing with Mello. The last time we saw Mello was, I think it was January 26th. It was the last time we saw Mello. That was for that was for the hearing for my lawyer. So if you guys recall, Ken Mello filed a complaint against my lawyer and tried to get sanctions on my lawyer for what do you want? 10 grand. He wanted 10 grand from Tim Bradle because he accused him of, plotting to commit witness intimidation. This dude is obsessed with witness intimidation. Like every time he says intimidated the witnesses, his very, very small little thing gets slightly larger, but it remains pretty small still. He gets really excited about it. Ken Mello does. Anytime you mention witness intimidation, anytime he gets to talk about witness intimidation. And so he accused Tim Bradle of plotting with a woman named Jennifer Altman, another woman named Courtney Healy, two civilians who are acting as paralegals for at least Courtney was. Jen didn't do that much. I think I talked to Jen 3 times in jail. I talked to Courtney frequently because she's basically Tim's assistant. And I had to talk to her a lot about legal stuff. And so Tim said that she was a paralegal and asked for her to be put on as a paralegal, to be put on as private calls, because all your calls are recorded. And Mello requested all of my calls from jail. He was listening to all of my calls from jail. Okay. And because of that, we wanted to make sure that anything we talked about in regards to my case was private. And I can't talk to Tim all day because he's got other clients and he's working, and that's what you have paralegals for. So she was acting as a paralegal. Now, there was a miscommunication there. He put down that Jennifer Altman was a lawyer, okay? And he got it confused because I guess there's some law firm called Altman and Altman. And basically, he didn't know either of these women prior to this. They were referred to him by my other attorney, Elizabeth Dombrowski, who runs a nonprofit in New York City that's handling my civil case when we sue these motherfuckers. And they were doing volunteer work for her, and she kind of volunteered her volunteers to him. And so he didn't even know them. And he said Jennifer Altman was a lawyer and this one's a paralegal. And paralegals get the same, protection that lawyers get. So it's not there's no difference between what Jennifer Altman got and what Courtney Healy got. There was no difference whatsoever. So Ken Mello, though, decided, he said that, by the way, he doxed both of them. He put both of their phone numbers out there. This same guy who, might I remind you guys, and I told Tim this, I'm like, I am being charged with witness intimidation because I read Michael Proctor's phone number on a live show. I didn't even know it was him. You guys remember that show When I call up Michael Proctor, we were going through Jennifer McCabe's call log, and I called one number, and I'm like, yeah, you've reached the voicemail of Michael Proctor. I'm like, oh shit, it's Proctor. Holy fuck. And the exact voicemail that I left for Michael Proctor, like, wasn't even that bad. Like, it wasn't like harassing. I think I have the whole thing here. Hold on. Because he testified in front of the grand jury with me. Hold on. See what Michael Proctor said. Hold on. This is the voicemail. Let's see. Michael Proctor. Okay. This is the voicemail that I left him. I said, hi, Trooper Proctor. This is award-winning journalist Aidan Kearney calling. Keep in mind, what I'm reading you right now is witness intimidation, a felony. This is award-winning journalist Aidan Kearney calling. I'm calling to talk to you. I do have some questions about you. I have a lot of questions, actually. For starters, why don't you tell me when, before doing the investigation, that you're good friends with the Albert family? Why did you, in your report, say that you were introduced to Chris Albert on February 10th when you've known him for a little more than a decade prior than that? Why did you lie about what time you towed Karen Reed's car? Why did you intentionally misspell the names of several key witnesses in your report? And I'm just wondering all of these things. And maybe you and I can meet up for coffee. Boy, do I have a lot of questions for you. When you were inside Fairview Road that night, or that morning rather, why did you stay there for 4.5 hours? He now says he wasn't there at all. And what did you guys talk about and do? And why were you descending stairs with John O'Keefe's phone in your pocket? So give me a prompt call back, man. I feel like you and I have a lot to catching up to do. I talk a lot about you. I feel like I know you pretty well at this point. I know which year you graduated from the academy. I know you were out in West Brookfield for a while. I know some of the same people that you know. Maybe that's what they're saying is witness intimidation. Like, I know people that you know. I don't know. So give me a call back when you get this, now that I have your number, and everybody's watching also has your number, which is, again, and then I said his phone number out loud. His work phone number, by the way, which was on the call log. So I'd like to know. You called her, and then I say bye. I don't threaten him. I am literally being charged with witness intimidation because I read his phone number out loud, his work phone number. That's witness intimidation, they're saying. I didn't threaten him. There was no threat of emotional, that he's saying he is emotionally harmed from that. That's what he's saying. That caused him emotional harm. What a pussy, huh? I thought cops were supposed to be tough. What a raging, filthy vagina he is. Oh, I'm so scared. He's so scared. Turtleboy read his phone number out loud. Oh, no. Will Michael Proctor ever survive? I mean, these people are the biggest fake victims I've ever seen. The biggest fake victims. They're bullies. They're tough guys. Elizabeth Proctor's a bully. Michael Proctor's a bully. Jennifer McCabe's a bully. Bullies and cunts, all of them. I mean, look at Colin Albert, Chris Albert. You want to tell me these people are fucking victims? Fuck off. Victims. And then, oh no, he's causing me emotional harm on his YouTube show. He's saying mean things about me, and I'm a victim of witness intimidation now. My statute. Save me, Ken Mello. Save me. That's what all these pussies are doing. I mean, Jesus Christ. Shameful. Don't they have any pride? I mean, how is Colin Albert going to look himself in the mirror and Chris Albert and Michael Proctor at the end of this when this shit gets thrown out? And they're going to look and they're like, yeah, he had to get down and say Turtleboy made me sad. That's what the Turtleboy made me sad. Oh my God. You couldn't pay me to say that about another grown man made me sad. Oh my God. He made t-shirts. Oh no, not t-shirts. So anyway, Jennifer Altman and Courtney Healy had their numbers put on an official court document. And then as a result, they got tons of threats because the numbers they're blasted all over the internet when that happens. So it's okay when Ken Mello does it. Ken Mello did the exact same thing that I did to Michael Proctor, the exact same thing. But when they do it, it's okay. When we do it, it's witness intimidation. Fuck off. Fuck off with that bullshit. I mean, give me a break. So anyway, he used this as a pretext, and he said baselessly that they are intimidating the witnesses on the protected lines. That's what they're doing. The dastardly Jennifer Altman, who I talked to 3 times, and Turtleboy are plotting witness intimidation against the witnesses on the phone, as opposed to, discussing legal strategy. He has no evidence of any of this. And as a result, he wanted to take away my phone privileges in jail. And that's fucked up, because that's all you got in jail is your phone. Thanks to Maura Healey, you get unlimited phone calls in jail on your tablet. And so my daily day-to-day life was I did rec from 8 to 10. And then 10 to 6:30, I went back to the cell. And all you got is your tablet. It's your connection to the outside world. And I would just call people most of the day. I'd spend most of the day on the phone, calling a lot of you fine people. I don't know what I would do without that. So if he takes that away, and by the way, this shit's pissing me off. Hold on. Get down. Okay. All right, whatever. Anyway, so if they took that away from me, that would be like cruel and unusual punishment to do that. And I'm like, I can't talk to people. I can't talk to my friends, family, all this shit. Oh, we'll let him talk to you. And the worst part is he wanted to monitor my phone calls with my lawyer. He wanted to have like a fucking babysitter monitor my phone calls with my lawyer. Insane. I mean, unprecedented. First of all, what authority does a judge have to even tell the jail how to conduct their business? Now, keep in mind, a few days prior to this, I called my friend Will the Glare, and apparently he was live on YouTube when this happened, and my voice was broadcast out there. Now, I can't control that. I didn't even know. And I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? Tell everybody I said hello. And it got broadcast out there. And I said, I'm like, oh, these fucking lying cunts and blah, 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 blah. And just let everybody know I was fine. And she then used that, and she called the jail and claimed that I was harassing her through a third party. Instead of calling the police saying, a violation of a restraining order, she called the jail, because putting me in jail with a lie wasn't enough punishment. So anyway, Ken Mello is enabling this bullshit. And so then we had to go to a hearing, which was fine by me because it was something to do, anything to get out of my cell. And so I understand we're going to watch. We haven't had a chance to break this down yet. So I got Dave McGrath's stream here, and we're going to watch it and break it down. All right, let's see what happens. Because by the way, the reason we're talking about this, because I have a hearing this week, and Ken Mello, guys, I have not, this is the last time anyone's seen him. No one has seen Ken Mello since then. He's allegedly been in the hospital. We don't know what for. Everything is late. His SJC response was late. And then he passed it in. It was like 2 pages long. What else? Oh, my lawyer has filed sanctions against him for what he did to Jennifer and Courtney and Tim, because we win, by the way, we win. My lawyer wins. And now we're trying to get sanctions on him. He just hasn't responded. The deadline was a couple weeks ago. He just didn't respond. Then he got a 2-week extension, and he just didn't respond again. We've not heard from him. He doesn't return emails. Will he be there on Thursday? He wasn't at my release on the 26th. Will he be there on Thursday? Or is he tapping out? I don't know. He's making $80,000 on this case. That's what the taxpayers are paying him. $80,000. You're paying him for this shit. So anyway, I got to go on my Zoom call. This is the only time you guys saw me in orange. I'm not really an orange guy. It's not really my color, but let's.
Special Prosecutor Mello, welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Timothy Bradle on behalf of Aidan Kearney.
Mr. Bradle, welcome.
Thank you.
Is it Kearney?
Kearney.
Kearney.
Like the honeymooners. Art Kearney.
Mr. Kearney, can you hear everybody, sir?
I can.
All right. Let me briefly see counsel at sidebar. First, ask you some factual questions.
Yes, sure.
Okay. Number one, can either of you tell me what your understanding is regarding the jail rules, in particular, whether only counsel's calls, counsel being attorneys, calls are unmonitored or also paralegals and investigators?
Your Honor, my understanding, and I'll preface it by saying I have William Castile from the jail. He's here by way of summons to address that matter. My understanding is it's only attorneys, Your Honor.
Okay, is that your understanding too, Attorney Bradel?
Your Honor, I didn't have any particular understanding. That's why I was depending on the jail to make the decision for me. And that's why I said who was who and let them decide.
Okay. Second question is, do you have any understanding about the jail rules regarding the length or number of calls that are not to counsel?
How do I change the
by
playback?
persons being held in the jail?
I do not, Your Honor. I understand it's a privilege that can be controlled by the jail authorities.
All right. Any different view?
No, Your Honor. I don't know anything about the number of calls.
Is there any court order in this case addressing Mr. Kearney's ability to continue to put information out to the public?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Attorney Bradel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there anything about what you have?
Actually, Judge, I want to just be very careful. So there's a restraining order matter. That's a civil matter that in paragraph 14 of that matter, the order is, and I'm just paraphrasing it here, but it's just that he not disseminate confidential DCF documents or court documents, I believe it says. So there's something to that effect.
And that is not in relation to this case, but in relation.
Yeah, so that's in the restraining order case. So the judge put in a provision there, which we are appealing, that we can't publish probate court documents, which we already have, and multiple other reporters already have those probate court documents. You can imagine what they show, right? You can imagine what they show. So there's a reason that they don't want those coming out, because it will show the whole story. But that's what we're referring to here. So that's not the matter that's on the record today, but we are appealing that.
Into another case.
Restraining order matter out of Dedham District Court.
All right. So no court order in this case.
Correct.
All right. So with that sort of factual underpinning, I'll hear from you, Special Prosecutor Mello, and then I'll hear from you, Attorney Bradel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'd like to preface my remarks by saying it gives me no pleasure to be here. In my 40 years of practice, this is the first time I've ever sought sanctions against a fellow attorney. I believe that the actions in this matter, Your Honor, however, are so egregious that it requires action by the court, both with respect to the defendant and with respect to the defendant's counsel. We are seeking, Judge, some limitations on the defendant's communications with the outside world from where he is now. And I understand that the jail can impose those unilaterally if it desires to do so.
So I'm trying to
certainly seek to limit defendant's communication to counsel and defendant's children only.
Why?
Judge, if Your Honor were to review, and I know it's virtually impossible to keep on top of it, the defendant has a number of blogs, websites, etc., where he has been actively communicating since his incarceration in the jail.
Well, that's why I asked you at the outset, Counselor, whether there was any court order preventing that particular conduct.
There is not, Judge. However, what has happened is he's communicated, and in this particular instance, that's what brings us here, through individuals, particularly Courtney Haley and Jennifer Altman. He's communicated with them. And my understanding, as attorneys, Judge, in unmonitored phone calls, and I would like to correct one thing. We indicated in our motion, Judge, that there had been some 60 calls to Ms. Altman. That is not correct. I apologize. There have been 6 calls to Ms. Altman.
Oh, okay.
Also from talking to the jail authorities, over 80 calls to Ms. Healy, Courtney Healy, who was identified as a paralegal.
Right.
Neither Jennifer Altman is not an attorney. As a matter of fact, Judge, I have text messages here that were copied from the web, where Ms. Altman actually posted her text messages back and forth to Attorney Bradel, where it says, I told you twice I'm not an attorney. Attorney Bradel.
All right, so let me pause you again.
I don't have a copy of this.
Okay, hold on a quick second. Let me pause you again. So what you are telling me is that there were communications with these 2 individuals, neither of whom were attorneys.
Correct.
And that is in violation of the jail rules.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Not of any court order.
Not of any court order.
And were they not identified as attorneys, there would be nothing that would prohibit Mr. Kearney from communicating with them.
But they would be monitored, Judge.
As a matter of the jail rules.
Correct. And that is a huge significance there, Judge. Obviously, I'm certain Your Honor is aware, and I'm certain Mr. Bradel is aware, as to the purpose of monitoring such calls, particularly in a case such as this. We have a defendant who is now in jail for violating his terms and conditions of release for intimidating witnesses in a murder case. And this particular defendant let me stop. This case is perhaps the most unusual that I believe anyone in this room
He's
has
so
seen.
bad at this.
Anyone's
Oh
ever
my
seen
God.
with respect to
He's so bad
a murder
at this.
case and respect to bloggers and followers of this blogger, with respect to the public protests, with respect to the internet activity, etc. There are countless people who are on Facebook, on YouTube, making videos, countless people who represent themselves to be bloggers, a number of people on X, formerly Twitter, commenting on this. And this has perhaps generated more communication, if you will, internet and otherwise, than any other case in the Commonwealth, perhaps the last 25 years or more.
Okay, it is a case with a large public following and a lot of public discourse.
Yes,
correct.
yes.
Now, with respect to the defendant, I believe it's already been established, certainly to a grand jury, and to the satisfaction of the court when his bail was revoked, that he has been harassing a number of witnesses.
No,
that's what he's indicted
in this particular case.
She's like, no
the
shit.
defendant has continued to do so. Just recently, in the past day or so, there was one individual who was the victim in the defendant's last arraignment.
Listen to this.
Defendant's online saying, "I'm 100% innocent, and she knows I am." And he names this individual. And
Oh no, he names this individual. I made a Twitter post through a third party. Obviously, I can't make a Twitter post in jail. And I said, I'm 100% innocent, and everyone knows it. I said, especially Lindsey Gateani. Because there's only two people in this world that know for sure, that are 1,000% sure that I never laid a hand on Lindsey Gateani. There's only two people that know that. Even all you motherfuckers out there, you believe me, you know I wouldn't do that. You weren't there. So you can't be 1,000% sure. There's only two people that can be. Me and Lindsey Gateani. That's just a fact. That's just a fact. We're the only two people that don't know that that is a complete lie. And Ken Mello is attempting to frame this as witness intimidation. Me saying that I'm innocent and that both witnesses, both people who were there, know that I'm innocent. He's trying to say that defending yourself is witness intimidation. This is how stupid this guy is. Fucking stupid.
this individual has been the subject of tremendous attacks, if you will, on the internet, attacks to her, on her character, etc.
Oh no, not attacks on her character. Oh no, the person who lied about a domestic violence incident and pretended to be pregnant to string a guy along. She's and who worked with the state and who couldn't get over getting dumped and worked with the state police because she just couldn't take a breakup. I mean, she's the victim. I mean, fucking insane. Like, I imagine hearing that while you're in jail, that person's the victim. Oh my fucking God. What a joke.
Complaints, unfounded complaints have made to DF, her, etc. And it's been actually brutal for this individual. And although he was incarcerated or bailed for intimidating her, he nonetheless puts her name out again. And a lot of these communications, we're not sure, but we certainly can't know for certain what these unmonitored communications were. If they had been monitored, we would know. We'd be able to examine those as we are all others.
So let me make sure I understand. It's not that you believe that the Commonwealth needs to have access to the content of the communications because it would violate a court order presently in place, but because you have a suspicion that there may be some additional wrongful conduct taking place.
Yes, Your Honor. And if I may say, but for the fact that these people were on that list, as identified as attorneys and paralegals, neither of which they are, we would be able to certainly monitor. The fact that they were placed on those lists raised every type of suspicion we could possibly have as to why the defendant and defendant's counsel didn't want their communications monitored. And that's a major concern of ours, Your Honor.
All right, I understand that argument.
Again, Mr. Bradley indicates he does not have copies of this. I imagine he has copies on his telephone.
Why don't you show him before you read them to me?
I would, Your Honor. Bear with me a moment, please.
Oh, here we go.
I just have a note, please.
So he has no idea what's in these communications, and he's just and he's just saying that, oh yeah, it's got to be, it's witness intimidation. He hasn't heard any of these, and he's just saying it's witness intimidation. Okay. Okay.
You don't have to read them to him. Show him the papers. Mr. Bradle can read them. Sorry, you can have a moment.
Mark identification, please, Your Honor?
It can, Mr. Clerk. Thank you so much. All right, Attorney Mello, what is it that you want to apprise me of with respect to what's been marked A for ID?
Your Honor, going through those pages, Your Honor will note that the discussion between Ms. Altman and Attorney Bradel, Ms. Altman specifically states that she has told him twice she's not an attorney.
All right, so all of this goes to whether or not identifying her as an attorney with respect to unmonitored calls at the jails was an oversight, was negligent, or was intentional. It all goes to Mr. Bradel's understanding.
The Commonwealth suggests it was intentional, Your Honor.
Okay.
And we do so simply because of the very nature of this whole case, which is somewhat in terms of systems worked up until this, where you have groups of people who have come on board, if you will, to intimidate witnesses and attempt, in essence, to...
This guy just loves saying intimidate witnesses.
Confound the legal system as we have here. There's already been comments...
I don't think the legal system has been confounded, Mr. Mello.
That was one of my favorite quotes. I'm going to look up the word confound. I don't even know what the confounding means. Cause surprise or confusion in, or mix up with something else so that the individual elements become difficult. So like the whole legal system is just, nobody understands it anymore because of this, because Tim Bradel put two women who were working on my legal defense team, he gave them protected calls. So now the whole legal system's destroyed. And she's like, calm down, Mello. Okay, relax.
There were attempts, Your Honor.
All right. Let me ask you this. Is there any information that you're aware of that any of the communications that were publicly made by this defendant during the period that he has been incarcerated in the jail constitute new instances of harassment or intimidation?
We do, Your Honor.
All right. Is that a matter for the district attorney's office and the police?
It is, Your Honor. However, there's a being three.
So she's like, so let me get this straight. You're saying that he has intimidated more witnesses while he's in jail? And he's like, yes, he has. Well, maybe you should call the cops or the DA's office. What the fuck are you in my courtroom talking about phones for? What the fuck are you doing, you jerk off, in this courtroom right now? You fucking idiot.
Grand jury is going to be addressed next week on this. Additionally, what our concern is, Judge, is the method in which this was done. Mr. Bradel is well aware, Judge, of the purpose for attorney phone calls. And I'm going to ask Your Honor to listen to the recording brought by Mr. Castile from the Sheriff's Department. He's well aware of the reason for this, and it's security, Judge. It's the biggest concern that jail officials have, security both within the institution and with respect to potential victims or witnesses involving the defendant's case. Here, we have a situation, Judge, where Mr. Bradel had been told, I'm not an attorney. He may have a letter from a law office in New York, but that individual is not an attorney in Massachusetts either. When Mr. Bradel says someone is a paralegal, we're assuming, I think it's fair for the jail officials to assume a paralegal in his firm, not someone who he thinks is a paralegal. And Courtney Healy has never had a day's worth of paralegal training, Your Honor. None.
Courtney Healy has never had a day's worth of paralegal training. You don't need to. You don't need to. First of all, Ken Mello is the last guy who should be up here talking about other people not knowing how the legal process works. This guy is the worst lawyer I've ever seen. He was the 12th string guy for a reason. Like, seriously, what are we doing here?
And Ms. Altman is not an attorney, Your Honor. But Mr. Bradel represented both of them to be so. And it is, at the very least, it's either intentional or at the very least extraordinarily unprofessional for Mr. Bradel to make those representations to court officials without confirming them.
All right, Mr. Mello, I understand your position. As you know, the court has broad inherent powers to ensure the fair administration of justice. What I do not have is the power or the authority to sanction an attorney for what appear to be alleged violations of the rules of professional conduct.
Yes.
It seems to me that what you are raising is that Mr. Bradel, intentionally or not, and I will hear from you, Mr. Bradel, violated the rules of the jail, potentially. Correct?
Yes,
and that conduct ostensibly rises to the level of a violation of the rules of professional conduct.
Yeah, so...
Your Honor, I believe it does.
Okay.
But in this particular case, if I may, the court...
What I need you to focus in on is how that conduct has impacted the administration of justice, because what you are seeking are very broad, very
it's unprecedented
orders from the court, and it has to be tied to the court's authority to protect the administration of justice.
Your Honor, when the district court revoked the defendant's bail, the court did so with the full knowledge that the defendant's communications from the jail were going to be monitored. The court obviously found that there was another violation with respect to intimidation of a witness. And the court was satisfied to the degree that the court decided that the defendant should be held at the Norfolk County Jail. Again, the judge in the district court knew that there would be restrictions on the defendant's communications, that anything the defendant stated other than to an attorney or his attorneys would be monitored. And our suggestion to Your Honor is that was part and parcel of the reason that the court ordered his bail revoked because there would be strict controls.
Anything said on the record in that regard at the revocation hearing?
Nothing said in that regard directly.
In writing from the court in that regard?
Not specifically in that regard, Your Honor. However, it's part and parcel to the whole purpose of holding someone in jail because, very simply, the court was aware that those restrictions would be in place.
All right.
Mr. Bradel, obviously being the exception, as the attorney of record, would certainly have direct communications with Mr. Kearney. They would be unmonitored, and that was certainly the standard practice, and counsel had no objection to that.
All right.
However, in this particular case, these people,
Oh my
Ms.
God.
Altman and Ms. Healy, are well known among
Oh, here we go.
for lack of a better
Here we go.
Turtle Rider
Here we
community.
go. Here
What
we
evidence
go.
do I have of that?
The evidence is all on the internet, and Mr. Bradel,
On
and
the
obviously I
internet.
can't bring the entire internet into you. It would be impossible. There's just so much out there, but
Evidence is usually brought into court and presented to the court.
I understand.
Oh, that's how I knew we got it. That was the best part. Your Honor, I can't bring the whole internet. Dude, I shit you not, the next day, the nurse came in, gave me my Wellbutrin in the morning. And she goes, I brought the whole internet with me today. And we just started cracking up at 5:30 in the morning, just laughing and Mello. The whole internet. Picture I'm walking in with the briefcase, internet, like two of them. It's fucking heavy. It's the whole goddamn internet. And she's like, maybe just a little bit of the internet you could bring with me, like the slice of the internet that you're trying to use to get sanctions. Could you bring that piece of the internet in, sir? Maybe you could come prepared. Your Honor, I can't bring the whole internet in, but they're well known in the Turtle Rider community. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh my God.
That, Your Honor. But what is common knowledge is not necessarily subject to evidence.
I knew we were winning.
Sunset today, but I have no evidence of it until the sun sets.
Then it would not be in evidence.
I understand that, but if I may, Your Honor.
I knew we had it won at that point.
The fact is, Attorney Bradel has actively engaged in conversations with Ms. Altman, with Ms. Healy, and he's well aware because of his involvement in this case, just as I am, that these individuals were administrators on the defendant's various blogs, YouTube pages, Facebook pages, whatever. And I think it would be disingenuous for him to say anything other than that. He's been involved, I'm going to suggest, almost on a full-time basis with this case, in this case only since he filed his notice of appearance.
All right.
And for that particular purpose.
In this case only, he's done, what does he know about Tim's other cases? Tim does murder cases and shit. He's got a lot of clients. I'm obviously his most important, but he's got a lot of clients. Defendant. Yeah. I mean, seriously, I couldn't believe that. I realized at this point we had it won, but I'm just like, this guy, he's just going to keep going.
He knew who Ms. Altman was. He knew who Ms. Healy was. There's no doubt, and he misrepresented to be people who they were not.
Okay, let me ask you this. Has this information been provided by you or anyone else from the Commonwealth to the sheriff that Ms. Altman and Ms. Healy are not attorneys?
The sheriff's office discovered that themselves, Judge.
Okay.
And discovered that from me when I spoke to them on the phone, and I told them that. Okay. That is a serious mistake.
Okay, and what actions, to your knowledge, has the sheriff taken with that information?
I'm not certain what they're going to be doing with it, Judge. We're waiting for today's hearing.
Well, what are the rules at the jail regarding whether non-attorneys can have conversations with persons held at the jail that are not monitored?
They're absolutely prohibited. Those conversations are absolutely prohibited.
All right. Who is here from the jail?
William Castile.
All right. I think I need to understand two factual things, Attorney Bradel, before we go on, which is it the policy, rules, and procedures of the jail that only communications with attorneys are unmonitored? And I want to know about the limitations on other communications with other persons other than the fact that they are monitored. Length, duration. Okay. Any objection to my taking that evidence?
I don't have an objection. I just want to invite the court to keep in mind that the issue is what is my state of mind about what the rules are and what I can do and can't do, and what is disclosed and not disclosed. So
I understand. There are also requests that I can take some action vis-a-vis the jail, and so I want to understand what the rules over there are. Okay. Thank you, officer.
And Judge, just for the record, I had no notice that there was any witnesses being brought in.
I understand.
That there was an evidentiary hearing at all. I think that's extremely unprofessional to ambush me with bringing a witness into the jail that I may have been able to have a conversation with before this.
I appreciate that. I am going to inquire of this witness because I need that factual. Is the policy or rules or procedures at the jail regarding unmonitored phone calls? Are those limited only to attorneys, or does it include paralegals and or?
Yeah, it's just strictly to attorneys.
Strictly attorneys.
Yes.
Okay. So if an attorney identified a paralegal and a person at the jail communicated with that paralegal, they would be monitored conversations.
They would be.
So that's bullshit. I mean, he's saying the guy, there's obviously a confusion here. The guy from the jail is saying that paralegals don't get protected calls. Clearly they do. Because Tim said that Courtney was a paralegal, and that was sufficient enough to get protected calls from the jail. So the jail gave us protected calls from somebody who we said was a paralegal. So clearly he's wrong about this. He's 1,000% wrong about this. So their expert got up there. He has no fucking shit.
All right. And what limitations are there on non-attorney phone calls at the jail in terms of duration, time, number?
He gets this wrong too.
So it's 30-minute telephone calls.
30 minutes, and that's another lie. 30-minute telephone calls. It were 15. I know that because I would talk to people, and I'd be talking to them, and it's just like, you have one more minute. Call you right back. I'd have like some people I talked to for like over an hour, and I'd be like, call you right back. I know that we're gonna get like 4 calls. I'd call them at 9, and the phone shuts off at 10. So I'd say we're gonna get 4 calls in here. That's it, and we'd have to keep doing it. Pain in the ass. I know. I don't miss those days.
And the time they have tablets now, which they can make phone calls, they can e-message, they can receive videos, they can receive photos, and the tablets pretty much all day.
So all day.
10 o'clock at night.
Okay, all day access to the telephone.
Yes.
That is monitored.
Yes.
Okay, and the rule again at the jail is that only communications with attorneys are unmonitored.
Yes, our policy is CSD 482. I have a copy here if you'd like.
No, I will take your testimony. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I don't think I'm going to permit any further inquiry because those are just the facts that I needed to understand in connection with these motions. Thank you very much. All right, Attorney Mello, anything else you want to bring to my attention?
Your Honor, I was going to ask Mr. Castillo, while he's still here, if the court grant permission for him just to play the recording of.
Yeah, this is great. This is great.
Making this call.
She's
jail.
She's like,
you mean the one that is in your motion?
Yes.
I do not need to hear that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right. Anything else, then?
Well, one other quick, Attorney Bradley made the comment, Judge, that he called the jail to take these people off the list.
She didn't get
I would ask
That's a mischaracterization. That I called to take people off the list. I never did any such thing, Your Honor. I don't know what he's talking about.
That is certainly my understanding of what he's.
All right. Both of you take a seat. Both of you. Sir, if you could retake the stand. Did the folks at the jail learn at some point that Ms. Altman and Ms. Healy were not attorneys?
Yes.
And when did you learn that? Or when did the jail learn that?
Around January 11th.
Okay. And has the jail taken steps with respect to phone calls between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Altman and Ms. Healy?
Yes, we removed them from the attorney privilege list.
Since January 11th.
I mean, seriously, so by January 11th, they were removed from protected calls. Problem fucking solved. Problem solved. Like, this is what Mello and Tully are doing with their time. Instead of finding out who's driving that Ford Edge, sitting around, looking at my call log, looking at my visitation list, being like, who's he talking to? Who's on the privilege list? Can we get this person to do this? Can we get this person to, can we make sure that this person's calls are being monitored? Can we listen to this thing? Like, this is what they're doing. They're fucking obsessed with me, man. They're obsessed with me. Can I live? Can I live? So let me read a couple donos here. Let me take a little dono break. All right, first dono up here. We'll come right back to this. Is from, let's see, on the Turtle Chat. We got $50 from Megan. She says, shout out to my Western Mass girls, Bella, Christine, Tiff, Amy, and Kristen. Oh yeah, they make I think those are the girls that make the winter hats, and they sent me one. So thank you very much. Those things are excellent. And she says, what does she say? They're at all the protests, those girls. And they says, Karen Reed supporting friends a girl could ask for. We love you, Unc. Well, thank you, Megan. That's very, very kind of you. Bob sends $25 and says, Turtle Boy, I believe that your legacy will be bigger than Karen Reed. You opened our eyes to the corruption in Canton and Norfolk County. You've started our path back to honest government. We are forever grateful. Wow. I really appreciate hearing that, Bob. I do. So thank you very much for that. Chris sends $100 and says, no matter what bullshit they throw your way, stay strong. You are on the side of truth and will prevail. When you are getting paid millions by the Commonwealth, I will still be buying rounds at Lido Beach Tiki Bar. Hang in there, man. So let me tell you one. It's just overwhelming. So I went out to eat last night. I went to a place in the Seaport. Actually, it was lovely. It's called Strega, and I don't go to fancy places a lot, but I went there last night. Got invited out by some friends and ate there. And at the end, the owner came up to me and he goes, "You know who you look like?" He goes, "You look like Turtle Boy." And I'm like, "Oh, that's because I am Turtle Boy. I am him." And he's like, "What?" He's like, I'm a writer and stuff like that." And it's so fucking cool meeting like legitimate people in the community, business owners who like your shit. And then we went to some other bar, and it was like a cop bar, I guess, and went in there, taking all types of pictures with people, meet and greet. It was great. Like when you go out, and I said this last night, every time I go out in the community, anywhere, Boston, Worcester, it doesn't matter where I go. Canton. I get greeted with nothing but like, we love what you're doing. That's the only thing I ever hear from people. And it's just a reminder that the internet is not real life. Twitter is not real life. That shit you see on there, none of those people exist in real life. They only exist on Twitter. They will never say anything to your face. The only thing I hear from people in public is good shit. The only thing. And I told you, when we went to the Wonder Bar last week, me and my son, the fucking nicest people there. They just paid for, meal was on the house. I didn't ask for shit. And it's so flattering when shit like that happens, because it makes you realize, like, oh wow, they're doing this because they value the product that I'm creating, and it's making a difference. And I realize that, like, I'm doing something here that's good, that people like this. And yeah, and everybody asks me, like, oh, so glad you're out. You know, like, everybody knows I was in jail. It's kind of hard to miss. But yeah. No, that's the one we went to. We went to Strega in the Seaport. That's when I was at. So, but yeah, it was really cool to see that. So, so thank you very much. So anyway, thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that. $150 from Queen of the Cunts. Thank you, Queen of the Cunts. Says, those fragile egos are intimidated by a man who has morals and ethics because you proved their corruption and lies. You know, that is basically it. These people are just fragile. They're mad that I exposed them. And they're not, none of them are actually victims. It's all fake. It's all fake. Next one's from Jack, sends $25 and says, longtime rider and always have your back. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you very much, Jack. Thank you very much. Next one says, M sends $5 and says, it is an Irish curse to look bad in orange. You are not alone. Well, thank you very much, M. Brendan sends $10 and says, storm the barricade, release the meat hook. Okay, thank you. So there's that. Also, we got a couple Cash Apps here. Let's see what we got in the Cash App machine. All right. First up, we got Jen sends $10 and says, for snapping fingers. Okay, thank you, Jen. Julie sends $25 and says, can't wait to get together. Thank you, Julie. Next one says, Tammy sends $10 and says, prayers for your hearing, that truth will prevail. Well, thank you very much, Tammy. Audrey sends $5 and says, Audrey and Lisa love Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much. Turtleboy loves you guys too. Michael sends $5 and says, keep up the great work. Unk, I appreciate that. And also, yeah, I did the snapping fingers one, right? Let's see. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So anybody else wants to donate, you click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat, or you can cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy, and I will read it that way. And by the way, shout out to the 166 Rumble Rats over there. I haven't forgotten about you fine people. Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's play some more. Let's play some more.
Okay. And how did you come to learn, in particular, that Ms. Altman was not an attorney?
Actually, I received a request from the Norfolk DA's office for Aidan Kearney's call detail log. I sent that over. I scanned it, emailed it, sent it over. A couple hours later, I received a call from one of the troopers stating that, you know, I may want to take a look at my attorney client.
Unfucking believable. I got a call from a trooper that said you might want to look at your attorney client list. I wonder who that could be. Oh yeah, Brian Tully. Not that into you, dude. And Brian Tully, I just want to ask him, did you have fun at Amelia's in Stoughton? Because we got pictures from that one. And we know who you were with. We know who you were with at Amelia's in Stoughton about a month ago. What female that he was with? Wasn't the wife. Wasn't the wife, was it, Brian Tully? We got pictures. So just saying, I'm not intimidating any witnesses. I'm just saying, we know. We know. It's just a fact. Don't go out in places in Stoughton. You know what I mean? If you don't want to be seen, it's just like you got. I don't know. I'm not telling him what to do. He should do whatever he wants to do. I'm not intimidating witnesses. I'm just saying. He's kind of well known. He's kind of well known, and I'm well known too. Like it's like I go out, and you know my car was parked in Southie, and they fucking they're posting pictures of it. I don't give it. You don't hear me crying about it. You don't hear me crying about it. People are following me around and shit. It's creepy. But it's the price of fame. It is what it is. People know. Like people know when you're out there, people know what you look like. It is what it is. But anyway, let's play some more.
A privileged telephone call list in particular to inmate Kearney, offender Kearney, I should say.
Okay.
And that's what got the ball rolling.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, Attorney Mello, anything else you want to bring to my attention in connection with your motion?
Other than Your Honor, the fact that it was discovered by the jail in the messages Your Honor has, I believe in that there's a note that Ms. Altman had told Attorney Bradel twice, and she was not an attorney. Mr. Bradel asked the question, did you tell me that before or after I called the jail? Either way, he was aware, and he never called the jail to correct it once he found out.
Okay.
So I'm going to suggest, Your Honor, that is an attempt to circumvent the authority of the court to have Mr. Kearney held in jail under the terms and conditions that the sheriff normally imposes on jail leagues.
All right, I appreciate that. Attorney Bradel.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. With respect to this assertion about...
I'm sorry, thank you. Thank you, officer.
Judge, with respect to this assertion about Ms. Altman, those conversations when she told me she wasn't an attorney, we were just discussing who she was, and I was getting nowhere about her role here. And she did tell me at the time that she wasn't an attorney. However, I didn't even remember that I mentioned this call. Now that it's under a microscope, of course.
So Tim was had pneumonia. He was so sick for this, but he goes to work. You know why? Because he's an adult. And that's what happens when you're a grown up. Sometimes you got to go to work sick, but not Mello. Mello gets a cold and he's out. He goes to the hospital, right? He's dying.
That she wasn't an attorney. She did tell me that, absolutely. But I didn't even remember that I mentioned that to Captain Lindsey on that voicemail weeks prior that, she's an attorney, she's a paralegal. So more to the point, Judge, rather than what the jail's policy is, the issue here is what was the interaction? And all this is laid out in my affidavit, Judge, and in my motion. And that's exactly what happened. There's nothing here but an honest mistake. I was, at the time, I got 3 folks from the civil side of this thing where Ms. Dombrowski, and you have her letter there. She's working on the First Amendment aspects of this case. After that, Mr. Kearney got incarcerated on a bail revocation. And we had all been speaking, and they all speak with Mr. Kearney.
Yeah.
And so
we know all this.
And you have the voicemail there where Mr. Mello can stand up in front of the court and make a statement that Ms. Healy, for example, has never had any paralegal training. Like, are we going to really go into the issue of what the training is of these folks? I mean, Ms. Healy has taken college classes, just because he raised it. Ms. Healy's taken college classes for criminal justice, and she's, I think that he raised, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
You don't need to respond to everything that
lawyers or paralegals and investigators. And so in that situation, you just do full disclosure. I said to them, Captain Lindsey was very professional and helpful. And they did whatever they were going to do. And so I received a message, and that's in my affidavit, Your Honor, the next day, that everybody was on the list. And I thought that was great, and that we were going to be able to strategize and
all right. I understand your position, Mr. Bradel. Attorney Mello, the first request that you have of me in your motion is that the Norfolk County Sheriff be ordered to revoke the defendant's privilege of communicating with parties other than his counsel of record. Given the testimony that I have heard today, you want to stop his ability to use the tablet or the telephone in all respects.
Other than his children and Attorney Bradel, yes, Your Honor.
And what power do I have to do that?
Yeah.
Order the Sheriff's Department to limit
what power do I have?
Telephone privileges entirely.
The inherent authority of the court allows that, Your Honor. The court can certainly do that, issue that restriction.
But I thought your point was those would be monitored. All communications other than with counsel of record would be monitored.
They would be, Your Honor. However, what's come out thus far has certainly been harassing.
Everything he says is just like, they did the same thing with Krupp. Like, what power do I have to do this when he wanted the stay away orders? He's like, just fucking inherent power. Do whatever the fuck you want. You're the judge. You can just do whatever you want, right? That's how this works, right? You can just do whatever you want. And the judge is like, well, you have to tell me what power I have to do it. He's like, I don't fucking know. You got the power of the gavel. Just bang that shit. Bang that shit. You got the robe on. Just get in there. So like, take his phone away. He can't use the phone. I'm mad. He's mad. I'm really mad about this. I don't know what they're saying on the line, and I want to listen to it. Even though we've resolved this 3 weeks ago. By January 12th, it was nada. So I don't even know what the fuck they're trying to do here. It's just insane.
And to some of the individuals, as I indicated, the victim who, the last arrest that put Mr. Kearney in the jail, just online this week, indicating, this victim knows I'm innocent.
Yeah,
and there have been a number of other elements of harassment. Mind you, this is the same defendant judge that has openly acknowledged in court that he wanted the opportunity to post DCF records about this particular victim.
So we didn't want to post DCF records. I don't have this person's DCF records. We looked up the public probate court documents on this individual, which were public. They were just out there because this person said that they were going to have a fucking baby with me. And I said that I I'm going to apply for custody. That's what I said based on this background. And, you know, they're not DCF documents. They're probate court documents. They're public records. And as a reporter, I have a right to report on them. And just to be clear, those records are in the hands of lots of people. A shit ton of people have those court documents, including other reporters. They can post them. I can't. That's unconstitutional to say that everyone can post these public court records. By the way, she's since got them impounded. She sent an email to my attorney saying, your client can't post these because they're impounded. It's not how it works. Just something gets impounded. If you have the documents prior to that, you can still publish them. Now I can't because this order says that I can't. So I'm not going back to jail. I'm not fucking around. I'm going to abide by the order, but anyone else can post them. I can't stop them. If Jessica Machado from Fall River Reporter wants to post them, I can't stop that. If anyone else there posts them, and there's a reason they don't want these posted. And it's not DCF. It's like, there's no DCF in there. You can't just go online and get DCF documents. It's not how it works. But anyway.
To humiliate him for no other purpose. So he's still engaged in his campaign, if you will, of harassment. And
by the way, it's not to humiliate or harass. It's to defend. It's to show that this is a pattern. It's to go to the credibility of the witness who's making things up. If probate court documents show that the person making accusations has been lying and making false accusations similar to this for quite some time, then obviously that lends to their credibility, does it not? And there's a reason that they don't want that posted because they know that. They know that, like, oh crap, this person that the Commonwealth has got behind is a train wreck, is a pathological liar with lots and lots of fucking issues. And they lose credibility like that. Their entire case has gotten behind somebody who has no credibility whatsoever, and they don't want that coming out. That's what's in the probate. That's what they're trying to hide. That's why they don't want to publish that to harass someone. This is everything we do. It's the same thing with Jennifer McCabe. When we posted when we posted that Jennifer McCabe was at the Proctor's house, they framed that as harassment and intimidation. That's not what that was. That was reporting. That was a relevant thing. The district attorney himself said that Proctors don't know that. They don't know each other personally. Yet she's there for a social visit. We didn't post that to harass and intimidate Jennifer McCabe. We posted that to show that the Commonwealth is lying about the relationship between their lead detective and their star witness. That's it. That's it. And we want to publish those court documents because they show that their other star witness now is a pathological liar with a long and documented history of you can imagine. But I'm going to honor the court order. I don't fuck around with court orders. I honor them. But it's just crazy to think that you can control the free flow of information on the internet. Like tons of other people don't have them. If any of you had them, you don't have orders on you. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I can't, and I'm not going to. So there's that. It's just insane. So anyway, let's play some more.
And intimidation. And the original order was that came out from the district court in Stoughton. All those cases are now no process. The purpose of the order was to stop them from directly or indirectly attempting to intimidate people. He's behind bars, Your Honor. He's just as active as he was when he was in public.
But that's why I asked you at the outset, there is no order like that in this case now.
And that's what got to him. Your Honor, he's just as active behind bars as he is. That made me hard. When I heard that shit, I was just like, oh, fuck yeah. Yes, I am. Yes, I fucking am. You tried to cage me, motherfucker. I'm still blogging. I'm still bringing the heat from prison. Daddy's still ready to fuck. Let's go. They thought that throwing me in there, but like, that'll shut them up. Next thing you know, Canton Coverup part 263 coming at you. Coming at you. All right, let's play some more.
No.
Okay. Anything else then before I take this under advisement, Attorney Mello?
Your Honor, we do have the last, and this is an abundance of caution. I know it's unprecedented. We have paint teams being established in this matter for various telephones that and electronic devices that have been taken. Obviously, Your Honor, the purpose of a paint team is to prevent the Commonwealth from viewing anything that would be considered to be attorney-client or otherwise prohibited to the Commonwealth that's on these devices. One of our concerns, Judge, with that respect is that we need, and this is what's unprecedented, the Commonwealth feels it needs a paint team of sorts that works
he loves
in
to
the
say
present
paint
time.
team.
We are so concerned about Mr. Bradle's actual intentions, and the Commonwealth, I apologize, Your Honor, the Commonwealth does not concur with Mr. Bradle's position that it was an accident or an error. Certainly, that's something that at the very least should have been confirmed. So, again, the Commonwealth does not concur that it was an accident. Nonetheless, given the fact that Mr. Bradle made such a move, if you will, to have non-attorneys listed as attorneys, we're concerned that Mr. Bradle's motives may be to play up to the defendant's desire for this publicity that he has. And
oh, for fuck's sake.
If attorney communications with the defendant were unmonitored, Mr. Bradle could use those communications as an opportunity for third parties to be involved, to simply engage in the same types of unmonitored conversations
for fuck's sake.
The jail's rules are intended to prohibit.
I don't know what you are.
So he's basically saying that you have to put a babysitter on Tim Bradle because then he can do witness intimidation. This guy's fucking obsessed with witness intimidation. Obsessed with witness intimidation. Insane. Go ahead.
Inferring that Mr. Bradle would put someone else on the phone?
Yes. That's a concern the Commonwealth has, Judge.
All right. So you are asking me to appoint somebody to monitor all communications between the defendant and his counsel in this case.
And only report to the court, not to the Commonwealth, Judge.
And under what authority do you make that request? Or is this entirely an unprecedented request?
Entirely unprecedented, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. I understand what you're asking for. Attorney Bradle?
I'm completely shocked at what
okay, we don't need to start with.
And the idea that I'm doing something wrong is just so completely offensive to me. I can't even fathom. Your Honor.
Let's focus on my power and authority to do what the Commonwealth is asking me to do.
There's no power to do that, Judge, but I just can't sit here and have counsel level these charges against me without responding. I would never do anything of the sort. I never have done anything of the sort. And there's nothing but complete, utter speculation with respect to what he's saying, that they're worried that I'm going to do something with the
All right, Mr. Bradle, are you the only counsel of record for Mr. Kearney in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does he have other counsel in connection with other pending criminal matters?
No, Your Honor.
You are his only lawyer?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to take this all under advisement, but I am going to direct you today to send a written communication to the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office indicating that you are the only attorney of record for Mr. Kearney, and then file with the court an indication that you did so. All right?
Actually, Judge, now that I say that, there may be another attorney who is on the list, Attorney Randazzo. I don't know if he made the list or not, but he's another attorney who speaks with Mr. Kearney about First Amendment matters and advises him as well.
And where is he barred?
In Massachusetts, Your Honor.
He's a Massachusetts barred attorney?
Yes.
So
I have to look into it. I don't know. I'm just trying to be absolutely careful about everything that I say.
No, I want counsel of record in his criminal matters.
Okay,
so if Mr. or Attorney Randazzo, if he wishes to be on that list at the Norfolk County jail, he'll have to enter an appearance in this case. So you are to communicate with the jail that you are the only attorney of record for Mr. Kearney and report to the court that you've done so, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
By the end of Monday.
Sure.
By the end of today, actually.
Okay.
Okay. All of the other requests that the Commonwealth is seeking, I will take under advisement, unless there's anything else you want.
I've only spoken to her a couple of times, and she was presented to me at the time as part of this team, and called her not. So that's why I left it to the jail. And it's all on the voicemail, and there was nothing that was hidden or deceptive about it whatsoever. And after all this came to light, Your Honor, keep in mind, I never knew anything about Ms. Altman being called. I never knew anything about anything until counsel filed this motion. And which leads me to my next point, Your Honor, that I want to ask the court to strike the pleading. The pleading absolutely does not comply with the rules, and it does not have any affidavit, and there's no swearing whatsoever to it. And it was, again, continued here in court, where counsel's making these speculative, insane, unsubstantiated allegations about me and about Mr. Kearney and everything else. Counsel likes to say what I'm aware of, Your Honor, okay? I'd like to tell the court what I'm aware of and what she did and who she was, about her not being this motion, Your Honor, and publishes all of the phone numbers, all the private text messages that absolutely scared the heck out of her and terrorized her.
Oh, yeah, we brought
to Ms. Healy and to Ms. Altman, with the results actually happening to Ms. Altman, unfortunately. Messages.
And that's the basis of your request that I issue an order to show cause regarding recusal.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
Counsel now has a personal that he be disqualified. But I'm asking that you issue an order to show cause and set up a hearing as to why counsel for the Commonwealth should not be disqualified in this case.
Attorney Mello, how much time do you need to respond to that request?
Which one in particular, Judge?
The request that I issue an order to show cause regarding recusal.
I believe that Mr. Brailer put 14 days in his motion. I believe he requested the maximum within 14 days. That asked for the 14 days.
This is the most one-sided poll I've ever seen.
Well, wait a minute. So you were saying you will file something in response by February 9?
Yes, please.
All right. When I receive that, I'll make a determination about whether I issue an order to show cause and whether we have an evidentiary hearing.
If I may, Your Honor, the distinction that Mr. Bradle, between the fact and what Mr. Bradle was saying, Mr. Bradle was indicating this was doxed. The reality is the telephone numbers here were absolutely relevant to this matter. This wasn't a gratuitous publication of telephone numbers of individuals. This is a publication to the court. This was a filing with the court. It was not an outside filing. It was not a press release, whatever. It's a filing with the court of the numbers that Mr. Bradle indicated were attorney numbers. That's a lie, Your Honor. I did not indicate.
It's just insane. He's like, it's okay if we dox private citizens because we put them in a court filing. How the fuck what do you think I got Michael Proctor's phone number from? A court filing. He actually says this fucking moron.
Don't interrupt. I've read what you indicated. Go ahead.
And Mr. Bradle indicated they were attorney and paralegal numbers, Your Honor. He published that to the jail. Okay? As a matter of our motion, that was absolutely relevant and part of our motion. Had it been a different number, whatever the case, motion, they were very relevant. And the motion could not have flown otherwise, Judge.
All right. I appreciate everybody's arguments. I understand everybody's arguments. Let me tell you how I have endorsed what is in front of me at the moment. The Commonwealth's motion for remedial orders and sanctions has two endorsements. Number one, counsel for Mr. Kearney is to inform Norfolk County Jail by the end of day today that he is the only attorney of record for Mr. Kearney at this time, and report to the court in writing by close of business Monday, January 29th, that he has done so. Second order on the motion for remedial orders and sanctions. Upon oral request for good cause, paper 4, the Commonwealth's motion is impounded. Counsel for the Commonwealth to file a redacted copy for the public file. Mr. Bradle's cross motion is endorsed Commonwealth to respond to cross motion on or before February 9, 2024. With respect to the Commonwealth's other requests for relief in the motion for remedial orders and sanctions, I will take those under advisement.
Thank you, Your Honor.
We have a 2/16 date for pretrial conference too. Thank you.
Thank you all.
So this is funny because we win, obviously. I didn't get my phones taken. And it backfired on Mello because now Tim filed sanctions against him and Jennifer has filed a BBO complaint, I believe, against this guy for being so unprofessional. And after that, like, think about Mello. He spent all this time on this bullshit when he should have been working on the SJC opposition. He's probably never been in front of the SJC before. And he's just like, what did I sign? He thinks he can do whatever he wants. He's beholden to nobody. Like, who do you go to complain about him? He's like, I don't work for the district attorney's office. I march into a beat of my own drum. Well, it's not how it works. Everybody's got a boss, motherfucker. And he still hasn't submitted his filing. Still hasn't submitted. It's 2 weeks late now. I've never seen somebody like this. Just doesn't come to class prepared all the time. They literally, that's one thing we got going for us in this, is that they put up the worst guy possible in this, and he has not been seen since. The question is, will he be there on Thursday to try to revoke my bail? Because make no doubt about it, they are going to try to revoke my bail, and it's all based off of a liar. Somebody who lied about an assault and battery with a charge that got dropped. Somebody who lied about the pregnancy, and people like, I haven't obviously published a story about it because I'm just not going to at this time. But like, if you don't believe me, here's this. This is a text message. This is what was sent to me. This is the pregnancy test that was sent to me, right? Positive. Okay. I got this in a text message from her once I started being like, once I was skeptical of it, and we get this. And what you do is you extract the entire text thing to the computer, and it gives you the metadata for all of the images. And this image, as you guys can see here, right? It says down here, okay, the name Lindsey. I got this on December 9th. This is the day I was supposed to, she wanted me to cancel the show and come, and I'm like, and go to her house to comfort her while she took the abortion pill. And I said no, because I didn't believe anymore this lie. And it says here, okay, see this attachment? Where'd it go? Okay, let me zoom in on this. See this thing right here? 2023. That's the year. Okay. This is the month, May. This is the day, 9th. May 9th, 2023, that picture was taken. I hadn't met her on May 9th, 2023. That's one of 4 images that we pulled metadata on. Some of them were from a couple of years ago. And we just didn't have. It's like, so that's the undeniable proof right there. That image was taken on May 9th, 2023 and sent it to me. Undeniable. The whole thing was fake. Like, and so that is why this is their lead witness, not only for me, but for the Karen Reed case. Keep in mind, Karen Reed got her phones ganked based off of the word of this person. This person told Brian Tully that Karen Reed and me, that Karen Reed directs me to do the witness intimidation. She forgot to point out that she's also incredibly jealous of Karen Reed, and understandably so, because Karen Reed has just everything she'll never be. And based on that lie, they obtained a search warrant and went and stole Karen Reed's property. And this is why they don't want this shit coming out. They don't want those probate court documents coming out. They don't want this coming out. Fake pregnancy coming out, because it ruins the credibility of the witness. I can't wait for a trial. Trial's going to be fun. I'm not the least bit worried about a trial. All this will come out at trial. All of it. Like all the metadata, all the images. Let's go. Daddy's ready. Come on. They're going to do it. Let's parade these witnesses up. Parade up Jennifer McCabe. Parade up Elizabeth Proctor. Let's talk about Elizabeth Proctor, shall we? Let me read a couple turtle chats, then we can get into Liz Proctor. Holy shit. Got a big turtle chat here. Exactly. Yeah, you guys get it. Yeah, I think that I think showing up to court kind of proved that. But anyway, let's read some turtle chats here. No, I know what you mean, Blair. I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of a trial. It's going to get. I'm looking forward to my trial about as much as I am to Karen Reed's. I don't think either of them should happen. I think they should all, and I think both of them will get dismissed before that ever happens. But I'm not afraid of it happening, right? But yeah, okay. Anyway, Mello's law office website is shut down. That's wild. All right. So Lisa sends $300. Thank you very much, Lisa. That's very generous of you. And she says, positive vibes your way. Your confidence is contagious. Keep going. I'm going to do just that, Lisa. Thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Very generous. Thank you. Next one. It's from Jenny B. Holy shit. Jenny B. Is it my birthday today or something? Jenny B sends $534. That is a very specific amount and a large amount. $534. And her comment is, repent, in all caps, Mello. Repent, Mello, for $534. You better fucking repent. Holy shit. Holy shit. All right. Do we have any more cash apps here? Got a couple. One from Deanna. Sends $15 and says, clocks forward tonight. Yeah, it sucks. Going to the parade tomorrow. I'm going to the Worcester St. Patrick's Day parade tomorrow. Maybe you see some of you people down there. I think I'm going to go to the Southie one. I've never been to the Southie one before. The Holyoke one is the other big one. I think that's next weekend as well. But yeah. All right. Let's talk about Lizzie Proctor for a moment, shall we? And what she's been up to. And I talked about this the other day on the live stream. All right. All right. So let's see. All right. So we got an email from a woman, and let me just read this email. Her name's Katie Smith. She was willing to use her name. So let me read this. On February 21st, I got a knock on my door from my house manager, Liz, saying there's 2 state troopers that wanted to talk to me about an ongoing investigation. I went downstairs and immediately recognized Bukhenik standing there with another trooper named Sean Kelly. My other house manager, Janie, was present. I asked if he was there about the Kearney case, blah, blah, blah. He responded, "Oh, so you know who I am," with a smirk on his face. Before we began talking, Liz asked if I should have an attorney present if I was in any legal trouble, and he said no. FYI, if any of these motherfuckers come up to your door, if any of them come up to your door, don't talk to cops. I mean, I don't talk to cops. Like, you should never talk to a cop without a fucking attorney. They're not there to be your friend. They're there to fuck you over. They're there to catch you up in something, right? They're not going to be offended if you do it. Some people think, oh, well, it's their job, okay? And if they're offended by it, that's how you know they're really shady, okay? Don't talk to cops without an attorney present, and don't talk to them at all. Let the attorney talk. You gain nothing from talking to cops unless you're like the victim of something, and you need them to go and solve the case. Then you talk to cops. But if they're coming at you for something like this, you gain nothing from this. There's no reason to talk to cops, period. So it goes on to say, I was under the impression that he called my house manager prior to coming to my house because I was living there. Both entrances are locked. They would be able to gain entry. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. I was also informed that they had come to my residence earlier and didn't identify themselves as cops. So they've been staking her out. Okay. They've been staking her out. And Bukhenik started talking about texts that Elizabeth Proctor, the wife of Michael Proctor, received on May 11th and stated one of them was from me. I said, yes, I had sent a text. It said, your husband is covering for murderers and he should lawyer up, or something to that effect. He asked me if I realized that by texting Elizabeth that I had intimidated a witness in an ongoing investigation, because she said your husband is covering for murders and you should lawyer up. Notice it wasn't witness intimidation in May. It suddenly became witness intimidation in October when I got charged and they realized, shit, we can just say everything's witness intimidation. You talk to one of these motherfuckers, it's witness intimidation. Keep in mind, Lizzie Proctor called multiple people's workplaces and tried to get them fired because they left comments on social media. They didn't contact her family. They didn't contact her boss. They just left comments on social media saying Michael Proctor is a shady cop. And she would do the laughing emoji thing to them. And then she would look them up and she would call them and try to get them fired. And she admitted this. She has testified in front of the grand jury. In my case, I don't think I'm allowed to share the grand jury documents, but she doesn't deny it. But it's different. When Lizzie Proctor does it to you, it's not witness intimidation because you're not a witness. So she can try to get you fired from your job. But if you do it to her, if you leave a negative review on her employer's page, which is also known as free speech, you're allowed to boycott businesses that associate with bad people. You're allowed to do that in the United States of America. The First Amendment protects that. But the Massachusetts witness intimidation statute says that that's trying to cause financial harm to a family member of a witness because she's fucking Michael Proctor. She's not even like really his family. She's not his blood. She's just fucking him. Like, let's keep it a buck. She's not his son. She's not his mother. They don't share the whole bloodline. She just blows Michael Proctor. Therefore, you are not allowed to cause her financial harm, but she can cause you financial harm. Do you understand this? And this is why we're fighting this statute, because it's unconstitutional. You are allowed to cause financial harm. You are allowed to cause emotional harm. That is not a felony. You're allowed to do those things. And they are trying to say now that you can't. Well, you can. You can. And we'll take it all the way to the United States Supreme Court if necessary, and we will win. We will win. So, back to this. So it says, he asked me if I realized that by texting Elizabeth, I had intimidated witnesses. I said, no, I didn't consider it intimidation. I consider her calling people's jobs and trying to get them fired to be intimidating. Exactly. He asked me how I knew that to be true. I said, people who support Karen came forward in the justice group with proof. We know it to be true because how do you think I got her phone number? How do you think this happened?
Hello?
Hi, this call is recorded. Is this Elizabeth Proctor?
Yes.
Hi, Elizabeth. My name's Aidan Kearney from Turtleboy. I'm calling to see, are you calling people's work? Click. So, yeah, she didn't like that. But anyway, that's how we found out, Yuri, is because she called and the first time she called, she forgot to block her number. So, and then she called back a couple minutes later, and that workplace doesn't get a lot of calls ever. And so it was just obvious it was her. And so this person who's a turtle rider, and she tells me, like, I just got harassed at work by Elizabeth Proctor. And so you do it back to her. I didn't contact her employer. That was the extent of my communication with Lizzie Proctor right there. I left her a voicemail later on and asking her questions about her husband's involvement in the cover-up of the murder of John O'Keefe. But I don't, I didn't harass her or intimidate her, but they're just saying they're doing the emotional harm thing. You caused me emotional harm. Matter of fact, Ken Mello at no point is ever trying to say that I'm causing any of these people physical threats. It's all emotional. And she did this to a bunch of people. This is the only one she forgot to block her call to, though. That's how we proved it was her. The rest of them she did block calls to. So she goes on to say here that, let's see. Bukhenik then went on to tell me that the supporters of Karen Reed are being misled. We're following a conspiracy. That she hired a PR firm. That she was a murderer. I mean, this is so unprofessional to say this shit. When he said she was guilty, I asked what happened. I mean, it's just insane. They find out about a Ford Edge and they're like, yeah, it must have been the PR firm that did that. Because Lucky Loughran works for the goddamn PR firm. Right. Natalie is the PR firm. Right. When I said she was guilty, I asked what happened to innocent until proven guilty, and he responded by telling me that the state had hard evidence against Karen. Sure they do. He also informed me that if Trooper Proctor was being investigated, that he would have been suspended by the state police pending an internal investigation. That's the problem, is they're not investigating him because they're corrupt too. The whole system's corrupt. They cover for each other. That's the problem with the police, is they cover for each other. She asked how I had gotten Proctor's number, and it's because she called someone's workplace. That's how we got her number. Anyway, he wanted to say that this is the big thing. He asks her if she was coerced into sending the message, because they're not trying to get her. They're trying to get me. They're trying to say I coerced. I'm facilitating witness intimidation. And then Karen Reed's really pulling my strings. So she's really doing the facilitation, the dastardly Karen Reed. Right. Okay. Anyway, he said he did not believe me because 11 other people had also sent a text message. And it was too much of a coincidence that she had received these text messages from people she didn't know. No one was coerced. Just a lot of people watched my show. That's all it is. I never once told anyone to call her, but her number came up there on the video. But she's harassing people. I didn't even know who it was. I'm just calling the number back. It turns out it was her. Oops. Anyway, this woman is an addict in recovery. And, they kind of go after vulnerable people like that and try to get them to flip. She's got a troubled past. He had a folder which he opened and asked me if I wanted to see the disgusting and vile things that were sent to Miss Proctor. That fucking cunt. I mean, who the fuck is she? The Queen of France? You can't say vile things to Lizzie Proctor. Why not? You want a folder of the vile things people say about me? It's just the way they're treating these people. My God, it's sickening. It's sickening. None of these people are victims. None of them. Anyway, he didn't record our conversation. He said it's going to be up to the special prosecutor whether or not he'll be a witness before the grand jury or if she'll be charged with witness intimidation. I mean, it's just insane. Insane. So, Elizabeth Proctor has told investigators in my case that she only did this to people who were harassing her husband. And what she considers harassment is you leave a comment on Facebook that's critical of her husband. She has a right to call your workplace up and try to get them fired. She even told the investigator that she knew it was wrong to do that. But it's okay. She gets to do it. She gets a mulligan. You don't. No one else does. But she's still the victim. She's trying to make people destitute. And she didn't lose her job, by the way. Her company had to shut down, had to turn off their Facebook page for a day. Welcome to the internet. Welcome to the fucking internet. But anyway, so that's Elizabeth Proctor. I still can't believe I'm being charged with this shit. It's just, you've almost forgot about it because of the new bullshit from the Guma. But, it's just, one day the history books will write about this shit and I will be completely vindicated. I'm not the least bit worried about it. The only way I'm going to jail is if they revoke my bail. I will never, and they know that. They know that I'm never going to be convicted of this, which is why they keep trying to revoke my bail. So please say a prayer for me, right? On Thursday, because I need it. I did nothing wrong. The person who lied about a pregnancy, who lied about an assault and battery, both have been proven now to be false because the charges were dropped with the A and B and we got the metadata on the pregnancy shit. Lied about lots of other shit. Who entraps men into violating orders, who seeks them out. The last guy, Frankie, I played the video of her getting into Frankie's car. She put a tracker on his fucking car and found him in a parking lot in Mansfield. Got into his car. Left her 4 kids in the minivan. Started ripping a butt. And Frankie started filming it and saying, get out of the car. Get out of the car. You guys have seen that video. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. She doesn't get out of the car. She calls the cops. And then he goes to jail. He had to go to jail for that. It's insane. It's insane. So this is the individual is now making up another lie that I yelled things at her at the thing. And so we are, luckily, this is still America. You still have a right to be heard. You still have a right to share your story, side of the story. And we are going to work to make sure that this injustice ends on Thursday. So feel free to be there. Because this is fucked up, man. This is fucked up. Like, I didn't do anything. I haven't committed any crimes. This serial liar is just making shit up about me. And it needs to end. It needs to end. You hope so. You hope it won't be revoked. But like the whole system's like rigged against me. Like I didn't think it was going to be revoked last time. We played a tape showing that I was being like held hostage there. I couldn't leave. And I'm like, okay, that's good. Then they revoked my bail. It's like, what? I think I'd be charged to begin with. No, the car did not have a tracker. At least that we didn't find one on it. But I know who took it. I know who took the picture. And I think you all know too. So the judge, McCollum is not listed, luckily, as the judge. So I don't know. Hopefully. So hopefully it's not the same judge. No, it will not be Squires-Lee because that's in Superior Court. It's going to be in District Court. Let's see. Anyway, yeah, I know. And everybody keeps saying this, don't stick your dipstick in crazy. It's like, I get it, guys. Yeah, I fucked up. Like I had bad taste there for a bit, it is what it is. I was thinking with the wrong head. It happens, But anyway, let me read some turtle chats here. Scott sends $10 and says, Mello has sold his soul to the devil. I wish no ill on persons, but karma is a bitch. Yes, he has. He's a bad man. Thank you, Scott. Mikey sends $25 and she says, she's just as awful as the West Coast Oinkmeister. Okay. Michael sends $50. Thank you, Michael. He says, it's great having you back. We are behind you the whole way. Mike and Kelly. I appreciate that, Mike, very much. And Kate sends $33. Says, sharing my lucky Shamrock threes with you. Keep being you. Stay focused and the truth will prevail. You're the tits. Well, thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate that. Do we have any cash apps here to read? Let's see. Jody sends $10 and says, happy to have you back. Stay boss. Justice is coming. Well, thank you very, very much. And Sharon sends $25 and says, the truth shall set you free. I hope so, man, because the truth is I didn't do anything. And if I get locked up for another 60 days, man, that's going to be a fucking bummer. I don't want to go to jail. That sucks, you know? I've gotten a taste of being out too. Love being around my kids again. It's so nice. And it would just it wouldn't just hurt me, man. It would hurt them. Like, these people are deranged. Who wants to hurt kids just because they don't like me? It's fucking deranged. Absolutely fucking deranged. But anyway, anyone have any questions or anything if anyone else wants to donate, by the way, you can click at the link at the top for Turtle Chat and donate whatever amount of money you want if you want to do that. But let's see. All right. Let me read any comments here. Where are you and the Glare going on together? You know what? If me and Will should stream the hearing on Tuesday together. I think we should do that. I want KP to, we'll see. KP has a witness intimidation hearing coming up on Monday in Leominster District Court. They're weaponizing how the courts work. You're likely going, hey, come on, dude. Don't say shit like that. I'm not likely going back. Stop it. I don't like that kind of negativity. What was the voicemail that she left? Which one? What happens if she shows up for the KP court? She can't kick me out of that one. Pretty sure. I have to be there. I have a summons, so. You hear what Sean said on the Young Jerks? I saw him got kicked. I didn't see all of it, no. I listened to some of it. I didn't listen to the whole thing. No, they still haven't caught the scumbag shooter in Worcester. Do you guys like that story I published there? That's a little old school Turtleboy journalism right there. Finding the case, the story behind the story about what was really going on. Is she going to get a pass on Monday? We'll find out. Again, Holden police have charged her, not me. Holden police. What about the camera at her house, Tully? I don't get the question. How's the poll question looking? Oh my gosh. 95% say yes, say no, she was not actually pregnant. Who's the 5%? That's what I want. So we got some trolls here. That's nice to see. All right, good to know, man. Good to know. We'll do it Tuesday. Let's see. The last night in jail. What's the last night in jail? Can you use the video of her refusing to get out of her car? We'll see. It's up to my lawyer if he thinks that's advantageous to use that. But to me, it's perfectly relevant. Like, this is what this individual does. Enough. Can't keep taking people's freedom away, you know? What are your chances, the opinion that the charges against Karen will be dismissed on Tuesday? 1%? Because Auntie Bev's the only one with the power to do that. Like, is there anything that Auntie, and she hates the federal shit. She hates it. So if she sees evidence in the Fed, will she even read it and pay attention? She's the most apathetic judge I've ever seen. Like, useless. We'll see. Oh, he's in Connecticut. Like, he's not even around here right now. Yeah, Sean did handle, of course, Sean handled Plevin. Plevin is a he's an angry person. Like, that dude has a lot of anger issues. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Sean. Like, he was so angry. Like, where did that anger come from, dude? Chill out. Like, let me see. I got this video here, the Plevin video remix. Should I play it? All right, hold on. Let's play this Plevin video.
I try to be as civil as you can. If you're going to keep interrupting me, I'm going to have to let you go because I can't take it anymore. You're interrupting me. I can't even finish a fucking sentence, dude. It's impossible to have a discussion with him. Now listen to me. Shut the fuck up. I mean, you can't focus. How did you get her number, Sean?
I just told her from Peter Murphy.
Peter Murphy, okay. Sorry, yeah. It's literally impossible. Shut the fuck up. I try to be as civil as you can. If you're going to keep interrupting me, I'm going to have to let you go because I can't take it anymore. You're interrupting me. I can't even finish a fucking sentence, dude. It's impossible to have a discussion with him. Now listen to me. Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, you can't focus.
All right, hold on. Hold on.
How did you get her number, Sean?
I lost the window. I'm sharing this.
Peter Murphy, okay. Sorry, yeah. It's literally impossible.
Hold on.
Shut the fuck up. I try to be as civil as you can.
There it is. Okay, cool. So yeah, notice he's texting because he's talking to Chris Albert and they're telling him what to say. This dude is literally just a tool of the McAlberts, and he's just an angry dude. He passes it off like I'm this nice guy and he's down the middle. That's Kevin at his core. I'm telling you, that guy's an angry motherfucker who, when you push back on him, he just gets more angry and doubles down, and he doesn't apologize. That's why he's got no friends and he lives in his mommy's house, waiting for them to fucking croak so he can inherit their house or whatever. Like, that's his fucking life. Pathetic. Okay. Of course the Boston News stole it. That's old school. Turtleboy is when the media steals my stories. Correct. All right. Let's see. Anybody else have any other questions? Will you please go on with Sean? I would love to go on with Sean in the Gulf. Sean in the Gulf, if you're out there. I can't, I don't know if he doesn't, I don't know. Like, I haven't heard from him since I got out of jail. I'd love to go on with Sean in the Gulf. So tell Sean in the Gulf, let me go on his show. I'd love to go on there sometime. Or you can come on here, vice versa. We're supposed to be on the same team. Let's do it. All right. I don't get how the heck that guy got violated when he had the video. They told him that he was supposed to just abandon his fucking car. That's what he was supposed to do. And she knew that. It was all a fucking trap. The whole thing was a trap. Got another dono here from Kevin. Sends $25 and says, Doc, keep up the good work. You are legendary. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, Kevin. And we got 25 from Kathy, who says, hoping that judge on Thursday sees through the BS and does not revoke your bail. So do I. So do I. Okay. Anyone else have any other questions? No, there was no tracker on my car. We checked it out. All right. Did she leave a voicemail when she called you the night? No, she did not leave a voicemail, but she did call me the night before I got out, which is, again, so scared, right? So scared. The voice, oh yeah, there was no voicemail. She just called. It was a video call. She tried to video call me. Looking for the intimidator. Intimidator denied. Denied. Okay. Anyone else? Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with the comments. Plevin. What's the story behind the name Plevin? Who came up? Did the Glare come up with that name? And what does it mean? Plevin. It's a funny name. All right. Loving the shirt, but I think we should get a better backdrop. Okay. Getting out of jail does rule. That's true. Staying out of jail is even better. So they can basically steal your possessions. Basically, yeah. And left, I mean, the most horrifying part about that video is the 4 kids left in the hot car. And that happened to me. She threatened to come to my house with the 4 kids. It's fucking insane. But whatever, I can stream the hearing. It's no big deal. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really looking forward to Tuesday's hearing. It's going to be good. He kept calling Will Bill. Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. See, this is what I like to see. Thank you for the positivity, Island Girl. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. Anyone else have any other questions? Neutral ground, no outsies. Okay. Sandra Birchmore. Yeah. Justice for Sandra. Free Karen Reed. Love to see it. Thank you. I really appreciate it, guys. My hearing's at 9 o'clock on Tuesday. So, you know, it's weird. I mean, they didn't issue an arrest warrant. Usually it's an arrest warrant for a violation of an order, which means the cops clearly aren't completely buying it. So I'm not sure how probable cause was found, but we're going to look into that. But obviously I'm worried about it, man. I haven't been able to sleep. It sucks. Didn't you mean Thursday? Oh, did I say Thursday? What day did I say? Thursday. Thursday is my hearing. Tuesday is Karen Reed's. Monday is Krusty Panties. Okay. Oh, yeah. North High is fuck. They beat Lowell yesterday like 96-52 or something like that in the Elite 8. They're playing Zavarian next. They're going to murder them. Like North High School is a fucking wagon. Worcester North. Yeah, so I'll definitely go to the next Final Four game against Zavarian. Oh, I'll play those someday. The voicemail. Basically, I'll do my impression of it right now. I'll do my impression of it right now. The voicemail after me. Yes. That's not a threat. It's a promise. I'm going to bring that fetal alcohol baby to your house, and I'm going to drop him off there with you and party the fucking night away. I will fucking ruin you. I will fucking destroy you. I got more on you than you got on me. And that was her way of saying, I'm going to go and work with Brian Tully. And there's that. So that was scary when that happened. The fetal alcohol baby dropped off at my house. It's just vile. It is vile. I'm like, oh my God. There's a reason they don't want this stuff played, but we're saving some of our cards. Oh, that's right. On March 19th, Krusty has a hearing for her second violation of Lauren's order. And I bet you she'll bring her new toy. I bet you she'll bring her new toy so that I can't go to that hearing because I like to go to Krusty's hearings on those. But I bet you she'll bring her new toy. And that's fine because I honor court orders. All right. Anybody else before we call it a night? Yeah, that too. Canton 9 update. None. No update on the Canton 9. We just don't know what happened with them somehow. I am a witness. So that's going to be interesting, Daniel. I am a witness against Krusty. So how's that going to work? We'll see. I'm going to have to talk to the prosecutor in that because she has no part in that at all. That's the thing. It sucks that you have to worry about something you didn't even do. Exactly. But I feel you on that one too. It's just like, it's not worth it. It is amazing. Well, it's like when you have no job, when you're being dragged around like a dog to court dates, like, yeah, you're Turtleboy Kryptonite. Like that's how the way they're treating her. And it's like, okay. But wait, I guess when you haven't had a job since you got fired, like, you know what I mean? She got fired from Stop and Shop in like 2017 for nodding off and just got her RN and just hasn't gotten a job. So you got nothing but time on your hands, you know? Got nothing but time on her hands. All right, anybody else? Yeah, so like that was the thing. Like when she was pretending to be pregnant, I'm like, I said she's drinking every day. And she's drinking every day. Like if she's pregnant, that baby's got fetal alcohol. And that's what she said. I'm going to drop that fetal alcohol baby off at your house. Okay, sorry. All right, anybody else have any other questions? I did get tested in Dedham, actually, so thank you. I'm clean. I'm 100% clean. That was the only good part about living in medical is you have access to doctors and the juice. The juice was good too. We're looking into options here. We're looking into options, Danny. We're looking into options. Okay. All right, guys. Yeah, so positive thoughts. And hopefully things go well Thursday. Hopefully things go well Tuesday. And hopefully things go well Monday. And hopefully we're doing this for a long time. And justice is coming. It's coming slower than we thought, but it is coming. And I love you all. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Thank you for everyone who donated. And we will see you all for the next episode of Turtleboy Live on Tuesday night after the hearing. And we'll be streaming the hearing during the day too. So peace, Turtle Riders.